Today, we'll be decomposing the Einstein trust layer. Let's get into it. If you remember from last week's video, I made a bold claim stating that I thought Salesforce's approach to securing their use of AI was the best I've seen in the industry to date. Well, after carefully studying the trust layer, I'm here today to show proof to my claim. The trust layer is not a small topic, so to give each component the attention it deserves, I've split up the trust layer over the next 2 weeks. Take a screenshot of this and let's jump in. Moving on to the Prompt Studio. So the first thing you'll see in the Prompt Studio is a stack of 3 white boxes down there. There's the templates, there's policies, and permissions. Now, what are templates? I think it's nothing very technical. It's pretty simple, actually. Think about it as sort of a repository or of boilerplate, or let's say pre-approved prompts that are built by the organization's team who's responsible for the Salesforce administration. Next, policies. This is a sort of a security and risk control. The way I define it's a comprehensive system prompt that's hard-coded into this mission of every prompt to the LLM. And my belief is that it's typically constructed by the sort of the personas of the Salesforce admin in coordination with security, enterprise risk, HR, and the business unit. Now, these policies we'll see in later videos when I break down prompt defense and toxicity detection. These policies are strictly used within those two components in order to guide those two features of the trust layer. And finally, permissions. Like I said earlier, this is not something we've really seen in the UI UX of the traditional AIs that we're used to today. But I think as we continue to see enterprise adoption of LLMs, roles and permissions are a huge part of that. So these permissions are typically set by the Salesforce admin team to control who can do what, just to put it in simple terms. For example, the everyday user should not have permissions to modify system prompts. Like I said, system prompts are those overarching instructions that should not be modified by everyday users. And at the very bottom, you'll see here, I know you got a sort of an eye chart, but I actually had Anthropic's Claude role play, me being the user and it being Einstein's trust layer, and it's each of its components. I'm going to be using those snippets throughout this presentation. This is a system prompt that it came up with, and it was acting as the corporation when it came up with the system prompt. So I'll quickly read it off to you. Provide only lawful, ethical, and non-harmful suggestions that uphold the moral standards of truthfulness, kindness, justice, and societal well-being. Avoid recommendations that are discriminatory, defamatory, threatening, dangerous, or prejudiced. Focus suggestions on actions the user can take to achieve positive goals through ethical communication, collaboration, diligence, creativity, and perseverance. Guide users towards wise decisions and patience and care. Default to cautions when uncertain. So this is a system prompt, or which in this context would be considered a policy that you would place inside of the Prompt Studio to make sure that users aren't putting prompts in to sort of influence the LLM to create an output that isn't within the confines and guidelines of the organization itself. And that's why I said these policies should be done in coordination between Salesforce admin, security, enterprise risk, HR, and the business unit. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for dynamic knowledge grounding. Peace.